Hi, Jane. With some really mixed weather types out there today, and in fact, as we head through the weekend as well. So very mixed fortunes, depending on where you are. Now, this is the picture out there this afternoon in Hampton, West London. Some warm blue sky and sunshine out there, but a very different picture further north. We've got more cloud outbreaks of rain. This is the scene on the banks of Lake Windermere a little bit earlier on. Now, what many of us will notice is the temperature as we head through the next few days, particularly across England, Wales and Northern Ireland as well above what we'd expect for the time of year. But notice the blue hue for Scotland. That is going to show us that temperatures are going to be colder than average there. And that's because we've got a weather front that's going to be slow moving and producing a lot of rain. In fact, over the next few days, this is the rainfall likely to accumulate. We could see 150 millimetres or even a bit more than that over the higher ground in the west of Scotland. And that sort of amount of rain means that we could see some disruption. So there's an amber warning in force for that heavy rain across western parts of Scotland. That's valid from 3 a.m. Saturday right through to 6 a.m. Sunday. So it's a really slow moving feature. You can see that weather front here on the pressure map, whereas further south it's going to be high pressure sitting across Europe that's going to dominate our weather. It's going to bring us a lot of dry and fairly warm weather too. Again, more sunshine further south and another warm feeling day as well. Temperatures in the low 20s. It's going to stay warm into the first part of the new week and then turning more unsettled from Wednesday onwards.
Good afternoon. The temperature over the next few days is rising. It will feel unseasonably warm for October. Today we've got some sunshine. You can see here hazy sunshine, a veil of high cloud, and that will stay with us through the afternoon.
Hello. As we head into the weekend, we're going to see a continuation of the pretty dry, pretty fine, pretty sunny weather we've seen today, except that it will get even warmer, if you can believe it. Felt perfectly warm to me outside today, but a good deal of fine weather, and yes, those temperatures even higher than today. 23 degrees in Heathrow, for example. One or two spots might just make it up to 24, so that's a good sort of 5, 6, 7 degrees above where it should be for the time of year, and it stays that way as we head through the weekend. Sunday, again, a good deal of fine weather with that high pressure in charge, lots of nice sunshine, temperatures peaking probably 25, maybe even 26 at a push, which should be the first time since around 2018 we've seen temperatures of that order. And the weather stays pretty dry right the way through into next week. High pressure slowly starts to pull away, but temperatures only very gradually working their way down. They're still going to be well above average, but it may be later on Wednesday that we start to tap into something perhaps a little less settled and eventually something a bit cooler.
Hi, Ben. Oh, my gosh, as we go into the weekend, what a story of contrasts.
Yeah, absolutely, Janie. If you've been watching our forecast this week, you're probably expecting me to talk about warmth, and I am going to. But I also have to talk about rain, and a lot of rain for some places. In fact, enough, I think, to cause some flooding and disruption. It was pretty wet today in parts of northwest England. Then we'll see some spells of sunshine. Not quite as warm, still 23, 24 degrees. Temperatures in the north of Scotland all the way up to 12 degrees. Starts warm in the south as we head into next week. But by the end of the week, we should have something a little bit more normal for October.
Ben, it's all about the weather today, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. We were hearing about it earlier in the programme, that exceptional warmth that is on the way this weekend. It doesn't happen that often to see temperatures around 25 Celsius in October, but that's exactly what we have this weekend. And as we head into next week, we start on an unusually warm note. In fact, we could get to 25 or 26 degrees around Tuesday. It does then turn cooler by the end of the week.
Hello there, good evening to you. We've got two extremes for our weather this weekend with heavy rain for Scotland, but for the rest of us, it's going to be fine and dry with some very warm temperatures, unusually warm for this time of year. So let's focus on that rainfall because the Met Office has got weather warnings in place. The rain steady and persistent, particularly across central and western parts. 80 to 100 millimetres expected quite widely with some impacts, flooding impacts and some travel disruption almost certainly.